against the Brits did stand. He wore his love for country where color green was banned. His brothers died as rebels, at Gorey they did fall. Before that his father died at the siege of Ross Downfall. He followed in their footsteps, and to Wexford he did go, prepared to give the sacrifice 200 years ago. But on the way to Vinegar Hill, he had been waylaid. To a captain in priest clothing, his confession he had made. The Crappie boy gave his life for Ireland and for green. He stood within death's shadow, braved the fury of the king. The Crappie boy gave his life knowing he would die, so Irishmen thereafter would have a new war cry. The young man caught was brought before the English judge and charged. They labeled him a traitor, yet to this crown he's discharged. The judge had him guilty as soon as he saw green. He didn't need more evidence, green's punishment severe. The Crappie boy gave his life for Ireland and for green. He stood within death's shadow, braved the fury of the king. The Crappie boy gave his life knowing he would die, so Irishmen thereafter would have a new war cry. In questioning did not deny, he loved his country so. He understood that he would hang, but he was prepared to go. At Geneva barracks he did die, at Passage he still lies. Those who live in peace and joy shed a tear for the Crappie boy. The Crappie boy gave his life for Ireland and for green. He stood within death's shadow, braved the fury of the king. The Crappie boy gave his life knowing he would die, so Irishmen thereafter would have a new war cry.
Fear is taking hold, and I don't know what to do. It's not a fear for myself, but the pain my loves go through. I struggle now to realize bad shit's on the way. For certain it is coming, I just don't know the day. I fear for those I cherish and cry out loud inside. These times will consume them, nowhere left to hide. I wish that I could save them, but I can't even save myself. They're beyond my protection, a warlock without spell. Fear undermines the happy times. Fear runs between the lines. Fear owns my future destiny. Fear pretend, take care of those I love. But now I see the foolishness, a reality that's rough. I once had power and money, not that they would help, not that they would help. I thought they were a force field, till one day it just fell. Times. Oh, fear runs between the lines. Fear owns my future destiny. Fear, fear dominating me. Hey, happiness is borrowed, fleeting joy at best. When it's gone, it leaves a hole. Take the heart out of my chest. I don't know what the answer is, or even if there's one. I only know that fear awaits, as death will life become. Times. Fear, fear runs between the lines. Fear owns my future destiny. Fear, fear dominating me.
Well, it did doom doom doom, better doom doom doom. Well, it did doom doom doom, better. How I live without them, I simply don't know. They're the purpose I found, other interests forgo. The years with these kitties blinded what came before. I'm now truly a cat man, feeling to the core. It's a love sense condition, I don't need their love back, or show of appreciation, in fact any payback. I put their interest before mine, pass no apology. I value them more than I value me. A feline devotion, new purpose I found. Feline devotion, kitty friends come around. Feline devotion, washed over my soul. A feline devotion, from the heart that they stole. They each have a character, persona resolve. They act out as they want to, no pretense involved. If they show love at all, it is straight from their heart. There's truth in their feelings they share from the start. A feline devotion, new purpose I found. A feline devotion, kitty friends come around. Feline devotion, washed over my soul. A feline devotion, from the heart that they stole. Feral cats that come by have attitude of their own. They work to stake a claim to make this place their own. I'll let them scratch or bite me, I know that I will heal. I need to work to earn their trust, won't stifle how they feel. They find shelter in food, a love soft but strong, a
try to provide safety and a place where they belong. They can stay here if they choose to. This place becomes home. The older kitties can relax, reduce their need to roam. My heart is theirs, they know it. Their butler I've become. These kitties give me purpose. I love everyone. A feline devotion. New purpose I found. A feline devotion. Kitty friends come a feline devotion. Washed over my soul. A feline devotion. From the heart that they stole. Feline devotion. Feline devotion. A feline devotion. Feline devotion. A feline devotion. Well, when
it ain't no fucking privilege, it's your goddamn right. You don't have to ask permission, you shouldn't have to fight. Just say what you wanna say, if they don't like it tough. It's not always music to their ears. Oftentimes it's rough when they're just simply assholes, bullying the weak. You have to take a fucking stand, don't you turn that other cheek. They found themselves some scapegoats, immigrants and blacks. Don't let them turn this country red, let's take it fucking back. Give me a poor and hungry, those yearning to breathe free. You're tired and huddled masses, there are plenty here to eat. Give me a poor and hungry, we're all from fucking boats. Every man is equal, not only those who vote. Defend the Constitution, honor those who died, fighting for this country, standing tall with pride. They weren't riding horses, white robes and pointy hoods, burning crosses in the yard, up to no fucking good. Give me a poor and hungry, those yearning to breathe free. You're tired and huddled masses, there are plenty here to eat. Give me a poor and hungry, we're all from fucking boats. Every man is equal, not only those who vote. The heroes gave their lives for a country meant for all, not just the rich and big league, but sometimes poor and small. So don't accuse the immigrants of somehow being less. They're people just like you and me, they don't eat fucking pets. Give me a poor and hungry, those yearning to breathe free. You're tired and huddled masses, there are plenty here to eat. Give me a poor and hungry, we're all from fucking boats. Every man is equal, not only those who vote.
There is just one America, and it is for everyone, sex, race, creed, whatever. Simply doesn't fucking matter.
I wear my heart so openly and proudly on my sleeve, living through each happiness or sometimes when I grieve. I go through life with empathy for every living soul, feeling all their happiness or pain, if truth be told. I'm not sure when this happened,
but it's been for many years. Even on a random thought, my eyes well up with tears, witnessing a moment, emotion on display, will often bring me to my knees, make or ruin my day. I tear up in empathy, my heart is lying bare. I tear up in empathy, teardrops that show I care. I tear up in empathy, breaking down at all. I tear up in empathy for creatures great and small. Some say it's displaced empathy to hide that I'm depressed, but I think it's so much deeper. Love makes my heart impressed. I feel this love in particular for creatures of this world, animal or reptile, water creature, bird. They live their lives regardless of the circle that's at play. Each life being lived is meaningful, yet ending all one day. I try my best to impact, only for the good, something that I didn't do, or something that I should. I tear up in empathy, my heart is lying bare. I tear up in empathy, teardrops that show I care. I tear up in empathy, breaking down at all. I tear up in empathy for creatures great and small. I've checked cruelty mortifies my soul to its core. I simply never understand the cruel mind before. To go through life regardless, oblivious to all, to those we share this planet with, all creatures great and small. I feel life where it is. There is no difference between a small life or a big life. Each life is important, so I cry for each life lost.
How many mistakes do they have to make before we just call them out? For heaven's sake, if they're so inept and get everything wrong, surely we'll just unplug before the end of their song. Just how fucking thick does this man have to be before those around him realize he can't see? He does not understand the simplest of things. He'd be living on welfare if he wasn't born rich. If there's a reason to this rhyme, I don't know it. If there's something worth seeing, they can't show it. If there's a chance to be had, they'll just blow it. If we reached a new low, they'll go below it. But Bone Spur's excuse is hardly new news.
but that's why he wears slip-ons. He can't tie his shoes. Inject them with bleach, nuke the big storms. The windmills give cancer. Could he be less informed? With pathetic ideas and a bullying psych, sold his hoe to the Russians. Then we gave him a mic. We became such pariahs in a world of our friends. Shit on them all. Now we're alone to the end. If there's a reason to this rhyme, I don't know it. If there's something worth seeing, they can't show it. If there's a chance to be had, they'll just blow it. If we've reached a new low, they'll go below it. With a wife super frigid, but how could we blame? If we lived with that fat fuck, we'd be just the same. He's too fucking dumb to know how stupid he is. When they ask him his name, thinks he's ace in a quiz. If there's a reason to this rhyme, I don't know it. If there's something worth seeing, they can't show it. If there's a chance to be had, they'll just blow it. If we've reached a new low, they'll go below.
I went outside as normal, but there was nobody there. It was 4 in the morning, but there's always, to be fair. Sometimes it is just Lincoln, as the others don't appear. But that little lady today was nowhere near. I stood there in the brightness of the palest of the moons, refilled the water dish in case I was too soon. I look around and called out, but still no one showed. 'Twas the first time ever that I stood there alone. Overreaction, overreaction. That's where my mind now goes. Overreaction, overreaction. That's all my heart now knows. I'm lost in fear of losing, and the search is far from done. So the pain of loss within creates overreaction. I called out Lincoln once again, a desperation call. No little feet appear, no familiar meow. I worried at my timing, perhaps mine was off. But yes, I was there on time, and I waited long enough. The butler in me worried that somehow I had failed, and yet the greater worry was I wondered what had ailed. Were the babies lying hurt somewhere, or perhaps even worse? These loves are all I have in life, my life's chapter and verse. Overreaction, overreaction. That's where my mind now goes. Overreaction, overreaction. That's all my heart now knows. I'm lost in fear of losing, and the search is far from done. So the pain of loss within
the second breakfast time. And when I open up the door, there'll likely be a line of hungry little faces, and I'll happily oblige, filling up their dishes and glad they're all alive. Overreaction, overreaction, oh, that's where my mind now goes. Overreaction, overreaction, that's all my heart now knows. I'm lost in fear of losing, and the search is far from done. So the pain of loss within my heart creates overreaction. I wrote that song immediately after coming back in, and sure enough, I was right. They were all there at 7 looking at me, wondering what the fuss was all about. Shut out reality and give myself a break. Find a place to go to, somewhere I can escape. Dreams are great to go to, but as for how we can't control. Our sleep travels its own path, goes where it wants to go. But it's in my waking hours when my mind begins to scream. Since I am wide awake, there is no chance to dream. Awful thoughts will flood me to where I sometimes drown. The reality of circumstance pulls my emotion down. The reality of my life is one I dearly love to miss. My better days are in the past, and so I'm left to reminisce. The reality of my life is full of loss and pain. While I wish it could be different, good won't pass my way again. I fantasize on something else, or try to just distract, replacing thoughts with issues upon which I can act. The problem is it doesn't last, although I try my best. Eventually real life returns the moment that I rest. I wish there was a chance to change, but I am just a pawn, stuck on someone else's board. While I wish I could be more, such is my reality. It's been that way for years. All that's left to deal with hides behind my tears. The reality of my life is one I dearly love to miss. My better days are in the past, and so I'm left to reminisce. The reality of my life is full of loss and pain. While I wish it could be different, good won't pass my way again. One day it might just pick up, even soar up to the sky. A reality of good times, where I meet the pigs that fly. More than likely that won't happen, such days would be a lie. Instead I'm one step closer to the moment that I die. good won't pass my way again.
I went online at Amazon and ordered box of screws. I needed them tomorrow. They'll be put straight to use. It's a special kind of screw, and Walmart doesn't stock. So I found a box on Amazon at 6 was a lock. An hour or so later, I'm sitting at my screen. In comes an email, and I could almost scream. My card was rejected for such a small amount. I had to use the ex-wife's borrow from her bank account. You know you're at rock bottom when your payment is declined. It's less than $6, and it's the second time. It's the bottom of the barrel, and you're truly broke as fuck. Then they won't authorize $6. We might as well give up. A new charge has gone through, and tomorrow will bring my screws. But I'm left feeling stone broke, head hanging at the news. Where did all my funds go? I'm so very deep in debt, owing tens of thousands. How could I forget? You know you're at rock bottom when your payment is declined. It's less than $6, and it's the second time. It's the bottom of the barrel, and you're truly broke as fuck. When they won't authorize $6, you might as well give up. If I ever do recover, I'll remember these days when I couldn't buy a coffee nor find a job that pays. I never did imagine that things would get so bad, but time and tide awaits no man, and my good times have been had. If I don't recover and die a pauper's death, no money left to bury me, an ending of regret. Just give me to the gators, I mean the guys for real. At least I'll serve some purpose, let them have a fucking meal. You know you're at rock bottom when your payment is declined. It's less than $6, and it's the second time. It's the bottom of the barrel, It's an alternate dimension, and we're all stuck inside. The lunatics are now in charge, there's nowhere left to hide. I don't know what they were thinking when they gave these loons the keys, but they only have themselves to blame. Sane is just a memory. The fool is fucking crazy, quite gone in the head. Can we get someone different, someone smart instead? There is no talking to him, he makes like he understands. But as soon as we step away, things soon get out of hand. The lights are on but nobody's home. The cheese slid off his cracker, a few fries short of a Happy Meal, a crack in his nutcracker. The lights are on but nobody's home. He's 2 bricks short of a load. His elevator don't go to the top, his car needs to be towed. There's a gap between his ear holes, the sawdust falling out. It's plain to see he's brainless when he opens up his mouth. The shit he says just makes no sense. It's like we're stuck in baby talk. Perhaps one day he'll grow some smarts if he ever learns to walk. The lights are on but nobody's home. The cheese slid off his cracker, a few fries short of a Happy Meal, a crack in his nutcracker. The lights are on but nobody's home. He's 2 bricks short of a load. His elevator don't go to the top, his car needs to be towed. He sits there with his stupid face, his gormless empty eyes, says something especially stupid. We act as if we're surprised, and yet the surprise would really be if he ever did make sense. But truth is, when he changed his pound, they just gave him 50 pence. He's lacking basic common sense, which even loonies have. But we can't call him retarded, that's unfair on retards' behalf. The lights are on but nobody's home. The cheese slid off his cracker, a few fries short of a Happy Meal, a crack in his nutcracker. The lights are on but nobody's home. He's 2 bricks short of a load. His elevator don't go to the top, his car needs to be towed.
He didn't have an angle, he only had the truth. She took on the argument, fighting nail and tooth. Accused him of sleeping around, which he hadn't done. Screamed that she was leaving, taking kids, and it would be gone. He told her that he loved her, that he'd been faithful all his life. Said that she meant everything, that she was his precious wife. There's no truth in that rumor, whatever she had heard. But she wasn't listening, her friends had given word. They branded him a cheater, been unfaithful to his wife. Said he was a cheater, lived a single life. They branded him a cheater, they'd seen him talking to that girl. The vicious rumors that they spread turned upside down his world. The rumor mill had pulled its shit, destroyed with hints and lies. Torn apart the truth he knew, destroying alibis. She swallowed cause she wanted out, believing every lie. she simply stood there screaming how her life he had destroyed. Her ears were closed completely to any truths he said. He swore upon his mother's grave, the woman long since dead. But it mattered nothing to her heart, she'd made up her mind. Branded as a cheater, a falsehood so unkind. They branded him a cheater, been unfaithful to his wife. Said he was a cheater, lived a single life. They branded him a cheater, they seen him talking to that girl. The vicious rumors that they spread turned upside down his world. He never once had gone astray, was true to all his vows. For 13 years he loved her, given family and house. Oh, and so he stood there crying as she pulled off the drive, kids and luggage in the back, and she drove over his life. Ooh, they branded him a cheater, been unfaithful to his wife. Said he was a cheater, lived a single life. They branded him a cheater, they'd seen him talking to that girl. The vicious rumors that they spread turned upside down his world.
It was a tiny little Fiat, all they could afford. But my ma'am loved it, and it took her door to door. She didn't do the big drives, they used Dad's bigger car. But it was a perfect runaround when she didn't have to go far. It had a little engine, just 500 cc, bright red with sunroof and tiny little seats. She called it Fiat Noddy, christened it that name. Noddy was a pride and joy, she drove him in a claim. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, and yet we all fit in. 4 children and their bags, pure happiness within. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, with my mother at the wheel, preserved forever in my heart, a memory's appeal. Most of the time we walked to school, but once or twice she drove. We kids felt like royalty as through the streets we wove. We took turns standing and waving through the roof at our walking friends and classmates, journeying on foot. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, and yet we all fit in. 4 children and their bags, pure happiness within. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, with my mother at the wheel, preserved forever in my heart, a memory's appeal. These were the modest times in an island still dirt poor. 'Twas in the 1960s and no one had a car. That's a slight exaggeration, but there was real austerity, and a 2-car family was quite a rarity. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, and yet we all fit in. 4 children and their bags, pure happiness within. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, with my mother at the wheel, preserved forever in my heart, a memory's appeal. I don't
a photograph of my ma'am with her car, but that image is solidly engraved in my memories by far. I can still see her smiling from that distant time with her little Noddy, a memory enshrined. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, and yet we all fit in. 4 children and their bags, pure happiness within. 'Twas a tiny little Fiat, with my mother at the wheel, preserved forever in my heart. A memories appear.